Obviously, things like City Hall and getting moved into the electric building. One of my pet peeves, or one of my new initiatives that we did discuss last, was the retention pond and those pumps. They failed miserably during that rain event. And I think we're all tired of spending $250,000 to repair a pump that you can't get a guarantee for or warranty. And so I've been talking to Scott in Orlando about getting an engineer to reevaluate. This was done over 20 years ago, and there was a canal that flowed right into the sand pit that was covered up, filled in. And so surely there's an opportunity there between a gravity or a force main to come up with a new option, but it does.
Now, on the thought of that idea you're talking about the pumps, and is there a diagram or an outline of how the pipes run throughout the city that would handle runoffs or excessive water, or where they flow? Because it's several areas that constantly get flooded at high tide and when we have excessive rain. But it's like, I'm still trying to figure out, where is that diagram, where is that information, where is it going? Because at one time, those, like he said, those canals were pretty big and they were filled in, but what has been done to determine where this flow and this type of water go?
Well,
Wish Orlando was here.
It's not here.
Yeah, I know, for instance, the mayor personally, her yard floods. Her backyard completely fills up with water with every rain event. Mm-hmm. And that issue is a state DOT issue. See, the storm lines in the street, and correct me if I'm not wrong, but they're like the streets, they're owned by DOT.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have plans for primary arteries or pipes. Mm-hmm. But the issue is, back in the day, people ran pipes through yards and other places like that. And by statute, we're not allowed to go onto private property to do any of that work. And we're just getting back, we're just starting a major storm water project. It's actually just got started, I guess, the past week or so. It's about an $8 million project that runs from Willowbank all the way to the sand pit. But to answer your question, there's no easy solution. In the mayor's case, SCDOT won't fix the pipe. They know it's broken, but they don't have the budget for it. And so she and her poor husband have to mop out their den every time it rains, quite literally. And Jimmy doesn't have a front yard or backyard whatsoever.
Me along with a lot of other people.
So we're
you
all
get pretty good with the shop vac in Georgetown. That's what I told people downtown when I went after the storm. I said, a shop vac is your best friend. Get that water out as quickly as you can.
I know that doesn't satisfy you.
No.
But I mean, primary arteries, we know where they are. But they're not the problem. The problem is a lot of these tributaries off the primaries, they're undersized. In fact, I get calls regularly from a family on Cannon Street because their crawl space fills right with water as soon as it starts raining. If you've ever been to the corner of Prince and St. James, there's probably a 1 acre tract of land there that's privately owned, and it fills completely up to the street. Now that homeowner pumps that down, so a bunch of water from the neighborhood comes into his property, and he actually set up his own pump system to pump it into the sewer. And because we got calls that asked us to go talk to the property owner to make sure that the pumps were running. But that rain event was so terrible. We were supposed to get 3 to 4 inches, and we got 13 inches. Nothing could have handled that. You don't plan your infrastructure for a rain event like that. You try and find some happy medium. 50 out of 100-year flood, that type of thing.